Hi, my name's David Perez. I'm 20 years old, and at the moment I am a student at ACC. Other people would describe me as down to earth, funny, outgoing, and unique. When I was about 3 years old, my mom, she brought us to the US so we could have a better life and a better life than she had. So we could all have stability.
Pues llegué sola en este país con 3 muchachitos y pues tuve que trabajar día y noche para poderlos sacar adelante. Pues trabajaba de 8 de la mañana a 4:30, después de 6 de la tarde a 10 de la noche, después de las 10 de la noche a 6 de la mañana.
We grew up in a very non-safe environment where violence was around a lot, where gangs were around a lot. I was dealing with harsh trauma at home. My sister hanged out with the wrong crowd, and so my mom was more into my sister's problems and just trying to control her.
Pues sí era difícil porque pues yo me la pasaba trabaje y trabaje, no me alcanzaba para pagar para que me los cuidaran, entonces ellos 3 se cuidaban y fue muy difícil sacarlos adelante.
I was the one being kind of like my own parent. It left me feeling alone and very uncomfortable when it came to figuring things out on my own. The way I learned about Big Brothers and Big Sisters was in 6th grade. I felt like I needed a guide. I was struggling with school. Spanish being my first language, everything was very hard. I couldn't write essays, I couldn't read very well. So I got a big brother. I was with him for about a year, and then he left to New York. I reapplied again, I think it was in 8th grade, and this time I requested a female as a mentor, and it took a while for them to find one because it was a very unique request.
Hi, my name is Emily Zip. I am 30 years old and I work in the tech industry. I was gung-ho about the idea of being matched with a 16-year-old boy, but I also simultaneously was like, what do I do with a 16-year-old boy?
I felt like if I had a big sister, I was going to feel more comfortable and we were going to get more along and it was going to be more fun because boys are so lame. Honestly.
Like, what we did a Segway tour the first time we hung out. It was kind of a bust. I don't know that David loved it as much. I think I might have liked it more.
We were getting to know each other, getting to know what we like.
I asked David what he wanted to do next and he told me horseback riding. So we went horseback riding one day.
It was more about feeling comfortable, getting her trust, feeling comfortable around her, feeling able to express myself with her and stuff.
But once we hit that milestone, he really started to open up to me about everything.
In a sense, it made me feel at home with her. It made me feel like I had a home with her and I wasn't abandoned. And then if I needed anything, she was there.
One of the moments that I remember really clearly, we had actually gone by St. Edward's, which is where I graduated from, and we were talking about, how college works, and I began to realize, I don't think that there's a lot of people in David's life who can help him navigate this environment if that's something he decides he wants to do.
We were driving on I-35. She was gonna take the exit to drop me home. Then I don't know how I mentioned that I wanted to go to college and she panicked. She screamed of excitement.
So I almost got us in a car crash. I was so excited. Oh, sorry, big brothers, big sisters.
And she was just staring at me. She was just listening. She was so in it.
Yeah, I screamed at the top of my lungs, apparently. I was so overwhelmed with excitement for him.
I told her that I felt bad. I felt bad applying to school because I felt like I was going to take the opportunity from someone else. and I felt like I didn't deserve it. I felt like other students put more effort, and I felt like if I got accepted, it was like their effort was nothing. But then Emily made me realize in that moment that I have the same opportunity as everyone else, and I am able to do, I'm as smart as everyone else, and I can do anything.
It was like feeling like the floodgates had finally opened, right? And there was just going to be so much exciting change coming for him.
One of the big things that Emily helped me with was my grades. I started to shift my attention from not caring about my grades to caring really bad, to the point where if I got like a 95 or a 96, I would be like, I would tell everybody like, oh my God, I'm failing a class, like I'm failing. Because now I was so into my grades.
David graduated high school in 2019, which was really exciting for him and for his family too, right? He was the first one to finish school and finish it on time. I just remember it was such a triumphant moment for him, and he was so proud of himself.
After graduating from high school, I decided to go to ACC and stay here in Austin. I started in fall of 2019, then the pandemic hit.
David's mom was helping David pay for college and living expenses. But when COVID started, David's mom lost her jobs. David paused school and went to go work full-time at Amazon so that he could help pay the bills at home. COVID was financially challenging, right? But there's also a certain emotional toll that comes with having your stability just completely ripped away from you. And I think that was definitely very, very real for David's family.
My mother left. We had an argument that morning, and I went to sleep. I had work that night, so I went to sleep, and I woke up and I saw a note on the refrigerator saying that she was leaving and to not contact her and that she loved us, and that was it.
Con lo del COVID, sí fue algo horrible. Yo perdí mi trabajo, pero caí en depresión y eso me llevó un poco a salirme de mi casa. Lo que pasa que como soy una persona que trabaja demasiado, entonces para mí fue algo horrible estar en la casa sin hacer nada. Y entonces eso yo me sentía mal, porque me sentía como una mantenida después de trabajar tanto y no recibir nada. Entonces dije yo, pues mejor me salí.
I did not want her to know where she was. I just knew that she was still here in Austin, and that was it. It was very hard. It felt like I had lost my only parent. The feeling that I had as a child when I was in 6th grade, of feeling like I was my own parent, that feeling came back. I felt like I couldn't cry. I felt like I couldn't let anyone hear me. My sister came over. I didn't want to see anyone. I entered into like a really sad hole. How I dealt with it was my mind just labeled her as dead, and that she was not going to come back, and that I couldn't do anything, and that I couldn't wait on her to come back, and that I had to take the responsibility and I had to take the action or everything was going to fall apart.
David called me and said that his mom had left and I don't know what to do.
My biggest fears were knowing when to pay things, how to cook, how to maintain a budget. Emily was very supportive and Emily was very understanding. She reminded me to use the same strategy that I was using in school of how to maintain my grades, on having a planner and labeling everything when everything's due and all that.
I also wanted to emphasize to him that nothing is worth losing your friendship with your mom. It's always been really obvious how much she cares for him and loves him, and just wants the best for him.
I knew that she just needed a break from the whole family stuff. She needed a break, she needed to get out, she needed to find herself again. What she did was the best thing that happened to me because it made me independent, it made me see life as it is and it just made me stronger.
Venite a sentar.
And now I see my mom every single day. My mom lives across the street. So there's my home here, there's the street here, and she bought the homes that's right here.
Today, David is working as an accounting clerk through an awesome nonprofit, making a salary. He's completely financially independent at age 20. Whew. And he's maintained a 4.0 GPA the whole time at ACC. So it's really, really, really impressive.
Big brothers and big sisters influenced the whole journey, because if they wouldn't have been there, if I wouldn't have signed up, I wouldn't have been here where I am today. I feel like I would have ended up like all the kids around me at that time. And I am beyond grateful for that.
It's just such a good reminder that even if you don't have the best hand dealt to you, you can still be an absolutely wonderful, delightful, beautiful person. And I know that I've helped him with things, but I sometimes don't know that he realizes how much he's helped me with things as well, and how special his friendship is to me.
Emily, thank you for taking me under your wing when I was alone and I was uncomfortable in this life. And without your guidance and without your support and without your point of views, I wouldn't have been here where I am today.